So the perfect loan process is something that, a lot of people know about. I've been doing some presentations around that subject matter lately. There's a lot of people now that are members of the Loan Atlas. I just had an implementation call for the PLP earlier this week, and there were about 80 people on it. So there's a lot of interest in implementing it. But the challenge that a lot of originators are facing right now in the subject matter of implementing the PLP is they just don't have the resources, the human resources, to do it in its fullest form, because they've gone down to, their skeleton crews, and maybe they're sharing a processor, but they're very intrigued by this process that can take every loan that you do and create a bunch of advocates that are out there referring business to you. So my question, I have a twofold question. I'm going to let you roll here now. One is, what's the value in the PLP that you've experienced? And then the second thing is, if you were a young originator today just starting, and maybe you didn't have the size of team that you had right now, what would be a few things that you would implement from your perfect loan process that would be easy to implement and could move the needle and get the ball rolling on getting more referrals and being able to cross-sell more potential referral partners?
I would say, so to answer the first question, which is what's the value in the perfect loan process, I think apart from being able to consistently give referrals to a realtor or referral partner, if here I'm giving you a close client, this is the second most valuable thing you can possibly have or give. It's your business in a box. It's your marketing. It is what you bring to the table that makes you unique and significant in the market. And it's providing that consistent experience to that client and that referral partner time after time after time after time is what will set you apart from the pack. So my encouragement would be, it's worth the lift. It's worth the investment of time, because it gets you away from how am I going to do this or what am I going to do? Because as we've talked about in the past, over the years, if you don't have a system for selling, you're going to be subject to that referral partner or that client's system for buying. And I personally feel like that's a horrible experience, because you have no idea if they're going to be someone who has experience in this or is inexperienced. And you're hiring me as the professional. I shouldn't be wondering how this is going to go. I'm quarterbacking this. This is how it's going to go. And this is the expectations. And I'm going to do this no matter how busy or how slow we get. We're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we're going to deliver for you. And that allows you to attract those other partners because they have a high level of confidence and comfort of Caleb's going to do it this way every single time. And that leads to a lot of synergy, because my referral partner is going to say, you're going to call Caleb. He's going to do this, 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 and this. And then he's going to send you back to me. We're going to do this, 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 and this. So there's no, I think he's going to approve you. Let me know when that goes. So they know that process is consistent, which allows that much deeper and warmer handoff. And then you don't have to sit there and worry about how we're going to attack this. It's, team partner A do this, team partner B do this, and so on and so forth. So I can't stress enough the importance and the value of it. I mean, for me, it has been the core of what I've done over the years. And it's what took me from being a mediocre producer to, with some humility, a pretty good producer, because it provides scalability. It's what most every business craves and needs to have exponential growth. So that's my shtick on that. Anything you want to add before I tackle the second question?
Only that you're better than just a pretty good producer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Your check's in the mail. So
nice humility.
Yeah. The second piece, and it's funny because I've actually given a lot of thought of this because I was asked to kind of talk about this with our group here locally. I think it's important to start with the end in mind. So just thinking back to what I know now, how I would have done things differently in the beginning, you're going to have to do everything. If you're a sole operator or your production's low where you can't afford to bring a team member on, and understand that's okay. That's not failure. That's just accepting that nothing is permanent. And the goal should be to work towards changing and bettering your circumstances. So do what is necessary to provide an amazing and excellent experience now. Mark what you want to have done for the future, where, like, for my metrics, it was always every 5 units we increased. I knew that I had sufficient revenue at that point where I could afford to bring another team partner on, or I could afford to invest in additional tech or technology that would allow me to further refine my job description. So the goal should be to get down to that 20%. And I really think it's more like maybe 10 to 4% of activities that we do in a day that really result in that 64 to 80% of your outcomes that you're looking for. When you're starting out, you're doing it all. Accept that. And don't believe that anybody who's ever had any level of success didn't start that way. If they're telling you they didn't, they either are lying to you or they inherited something. So everyone starts at the bottom scrapping like that. But you need to be very purposeful and going with your time tracking. These are things that are not productive activities for me, and I need to find a way to offload these as soon as humanly possible so that you can get off that roller coaster of big month, little month, because that will be what will happen for your eternal cycle if you do not build a system to additionally allow for that increase in unit count. So track that, be diligent. And then as you hit that metric and you have the confidence, move it out. Go, okay, you're going to be responsible for this. So when you're first starting out, it's all about your sales skills, getting your at-bats, getting your scripting down, getting that growth engine that will drive that business in so that you can begin to build a team. Then the hard part is this flip from that to then having to learn how to be a good leader and delegate properly. And that's things I struggle with. My innate nature is as we got bigger, I was jumping back in to do the 80% of things that didn't really move the needle. So it's having the discipline to go, no, I need to let my team solve that, or I need to put better systems in place around that. It'll be a constant evolution. I'm still working on mine now 20 years in, and it changes because the market changes and your team size may change and the product mix you sell is going to change. So it's never done. Only Tim Brahim had a perfect loan process. I always call mine better loan process because we were always working on it. So that would be my advice to someone starting out is be purposeful for where you want to go. Understand that it is a journey and it's not going to happen overnight, but be diligent in constantly moving the ball forward, that as your production grows or your revenue grows or however you want to track your metrics, that you then take those activities that are either low productivity or low return on energy and assign those to someone else or offload them to tech, because tech is catching up really fast. There may be some genuine opportunities to offload that in a way that doesn't require hiring a body. So that is also my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say, and I agree with you 1,000%, is that if you're a solo practitioner right now and maybe sharing a processor and you want to incorporate the perfect loan process, a system of dynamic customer service where you're using every loan as you can as your ultimate marketing environment, that it starts with you selecting some things that you can do and make as a part of your everyday practice and presenting to a client that could ultimately move the needle in a way to where it would get you 1 or 2 extra loans a month. Once you do get those 1 or 2 extra loans a month, you shouldn't be thinking solely about putting that into your bank account or going on another vacation. You should be thinking about how you could reinvest that into your business and capitalize on that investment by bringing aboard somebody else to take some of the lower payoff activities off of your desk so you can do more money-making activities.